That had to qualify as the best sex she'd ever had. At least she'd always have the memory. She quickly dressed in the bathroom. Hopefully none of the other wedding party members would be out and about in the hotel yet, and she could take her walk of shame undetected. With one last glance at Grant, she tiptoed to the door and let herself out. Free and clear. She hurried toward the elevator and turned on her cell. A reminder alarm dinged. She glanced at it as she stepped inside the elevator. Oh God, how could she have forgotten? The wedding breakfast was in 15 minutes. Oh yeah, she'd been too busy telling Grant exactly how to find the back zipper of her taffeta monstrosity of a bridesmaid dress. The entire wedding party would be at the breakfast, which meant she'd have to see Grant. Unless he didn't show. Maybe he'd sleep through it. Surely he would spare them both a morning after encounter and skip it. He'd probably just check out of the hotel and head straight back to Miami. Her headache all but faded, thanks to the adrenaline rush of waking up late and shirking her maid of honor duties. She hurried to her room and took the world's fastest shower. 20 minutes later, she walked into the Palm Beach room and scanned the room. No Grant. Thank God. She drew a relieved breath. The bride and groom, her sister Lucy and Lucy's spiffy new husband, Dex the accountant, sat at one end of the long table, completely oblivious to anything except each other, as it should be the morning after their wedding. Dex twirled a strand of Lucy's hot pink hair around his finger and said something to her that made her laugh out loud. Niki spotted Aunt Bev and bent to give her a hug, breathing in her aunt's signature rose perfume, mixed with eau de mothballs. "Good morning." "Sit here with me." Her aunt patted the empty chair between herself and Niki's mother, and Niki took it. "Good news, everyone." Lucy wore a smile so big that Niki wondered what her sister was going to say. "I accepted an offer on my condo this morning." Dex kissed her. "In a few days, we'll only own one home." Days? Niki hoped to God Dex had misspoken. Don't you usually get a month or two between accepting the offer and closing? Lucy's nose crinkled as she winced. "Niki, I'm sorry. I know this is going to inconvenience you, but a developer is buying the whole building and planning to turn it into office space. They said they'd pay anyone who can clear out in 2 weeks a ridiculous bonus. We had to accept. We're putting off our honeymoon so we can take care of the move." 2 weeks. The thought nearly sent Niki searching for a paper bag to breathe into. She'd been staying rent-free in Lucy's condo since graduation, mainly marking time until Lucy's wedding, after which she'd planned to put all of her efforts into finding a job in Europe. A long-time dream of hers. How the hell was she supposed to find somewhere to live on such short notice? Plus, after years of being a college student, with part-time jobs that barely covered books, tuition, and her on-campus apartment, she had almost no savings for things like security deposits. And how could she sign a lease when, if all went as she hoped with her new job, she'd be transferred to London in a few months? Lucy came over and crouched down beside her. She was the only woman in the world who could wear a black lace camisole and leather miniskirt to a morning reception and still look appropriately dressed. "I know you're worried about your living situation, but please don't be. Dex and I have discussed it, and you're welcome to stay at our house for as long as you like." "Thanks. I appreciate it." Niki gave her sister a hug, but was already trying to think up other options. Living with newlyweds, invading their privacy, was the last thing she wanted after everything Lucy had done for her, like helping to pay for tuition when their mother had lost her job a few years ago. Her mom's place was so far from work, and its spare room was the size of a closet. Niki's clothes wouldn't even fit in there. Moving in with Aunt Bev was out of the question, since she had a 1-bedroom apartment in a retirement community. "Did you hear the good news?"